advice would you give for someone who's looking at doing an online course when they're reading the descriptors or the advertising or whatever? What should they be looking, keywords might help
Yeah,
them?
there's some important things to look for, and this is important. I always like to highlight this for everybody, because there is so much. I mean, I don't know how to say this diplomatically other than just to simply say there's so much bad online education in our field, because it's really, and I say this to people forever, it's really easy to create an online course, and it's really hard to create a good online course. And that's where the challenge comes from. So a couple of things that I would say to people to look for and to watch for is, first of all, find out who built the course. Is the course built by the person who is actually the teacher? Or, for example, you see a lot of these situations where somebody just takes a bunch of content and they figure out how to turn it online, turn it into some online format, whether that's video or PDF files. And then they just write a multiple choice test, just testing if you can memorize some things for very short-term memory at a very surface level. That's not a really good learning experience. If you have an opportunity to have a teacher and a facilitator involved with you, where you go through stuff and you can ask questions and say, hey, I don't understand this, or hey, I want to learn a little bit more about this. Where can I go get some more resources? And somebody can answer your question and you can have interaction with them. That's going to be usually a lot better learning experience than just the passive content stuff that you have no access for anybody. So, ask some questions about who built it. Is there a facilitator? Is there the capability to ask questions? What do I do if I get stuck or have a question? Can I do that kind of stuff? Those are some really good initial questions for people to be looking into.
Yeah, that's good. I know with my course, at the end of each module, they've got to hand in a video assessment of the application that they're doing. And then if we go through Dropbox or Google Drive or whatever, then I'm actually responding at 1 minute and 26. When you have a look at that, have a look at their face. So that's
excellent. Yeah, and see, that's direct feedback from the instructor, personalizing your interaction with them. It doesn't make up for what you would do in a classroom environment, but it's a really good method of connecting with people personally and giving personalized feedback on what they're doing. So that's great that you're doing that.
The tough bit is that people go, oh, no, I can't get in front of a camera. I'm
right.
there. Yeah, they have a meltdown. Right. So it's getting past that, which is a drama. Well, they're good tips, and I can see that that's where we're going to be going. Last week, we were talking about the advanced education path for therapists, like once they complete their skills. We have, and you would as well, our associations have the necessity to have continued professional education, CEU, CPE, points, whatever you want to call them. Same over there, yeah? With your associations?
Yeah, so some of it is professional associations and some of it is done by the state licensure regulations in terms of what people need to do requirement-wise. But yeah, very similar kind of process.
Yeah. So trying to help people down those pathways, if you had a magic wand, how would you make that work? I want to learn more on lymphatic drainage maybe, or how would I?
Yeah, the problem that we have is because there isn't really a designed curriculum for people, that people often end up taking maybe what they've heard was good, or what's popular or something like that. Sometimes it's because a teacher is popular because they've got a big advertising budget. They put a lot of ads in publications or magazines. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the best education. So right now, word of mouth tends to be pretty good in terms of asking around for people. What did you take? How did you benefit from this? And the thing that you also need to kind of look into and question about, and this kind of gets back to what we were talking about, is I have this thing I've referred to a lot with people where I call it Monday morning skills, because usually we go to these workshops on Saturday and Sunday. Oh. And, you come away with this sense like, oh, wow, this was great. This was so cool. And then I ask them now, Monday morning, what did you come away with that you can actually do in the clinic that's going to be different? And that kind of gets back to how much did you actually remember or do something that was really useful and valuable for us? Or did you just, were you kind of blown away by the wow factor because this instructor had a great reputation? They talked all this stuff that was really over your head and it sounded really cool. But when you came out of it, it's like, I have no idea what to do with this or how this is going to change what I'm doing. That's a big factor to be looking at. So, ask a lot of questions with people who've been in previous courses or other educational experiences about, did you feel like this really changed the way you work? Did it change something significant for you in being able to help you do things better, be more successful with treating clients, have better success rates or more good, beneficial outcomes, that kind of stuff? That's where the rubber really hits the road.
Yeah.